Hideo Kojima, the mind behind Metal Gear Solid, also played a key role in the creation of a lesser-known yet beloved mecha series, Zone of the Enders. This sci-fi action series, filled with complex themes of war, loyalty, and identity, has long flown under the radar since its last mainline entry in 2003. With Kojima's storytelling touch, Zone of the Enders explored heavy narratives similar to Metal Gear, weaving a story that's often praised by fans of mecha anime and deep science fiction alike. Across two main games and one spin-off title, the series is ripe for a comeback that would bring its thoughtful exploration of human ambition, technology, and space colonization into the modern gaming landscape. Origins of Zone of the Enders. The first Zone of the Enders game debuted in 2001 for the PlayStation 2, though its development originally began with plans for a Dreamcast release. When Sega's final console faltered, Kojima and his team shifted to Sony's PS2, where the game's stunning space battles and layered plotlines captivated players. Set in the year 2172, the series envisioned a future where humanity has spread across the solar system, using advanced mechs called orbital frames to mine a powerful energy source called Metatron. Yet, beneath the sleek visuals and futuristic world, Zone of the Enders delved into issues of human rights, with space colonists called Enders, oppressed by the militarized forces of Earth. Realism meets mecha in Zone of the Enders. The story begins on a Jupiter colony with a young boy, Leo Stenbuck, as its unlikely hero. After a violent attack by Martian rebels, Leo stumbles upon an orbital frame named Jihudi and becomes embroiled in a rebellion. Though Leo initially views the battles as a means to protect innocent people, he soon learns the grim reality behind the weapons he wields and the consequences of humanity's endless pursuit of power. Through fast-paced, aerial hack-and-slash gameplay, Zone of the Enders allowed players to pilot Jihudi in intense, acrobatic battles, with combat mechanics that are still praised for their precision and fluidity. The story expands with the Fist of Mars. Following the success of the original game, Zone of the Enders expanded its story with the Fist of Mars on the Game Boy Advance. Rather than mimicking the action-oriented gameplay of its predecessor, the Fist of Mars adopted a grid-based, tactical RPG format similar to the Super Robot Wars series. Its anime-inspired visuals, narrative-driven sequences, and interactive attack system made it feel like a playable anime episode, complete with 26 missions of strategic combat. Though some found the dialogue-heavy sequences detracting, others appreciated its richly developed story that provided a deeper look at the conflicts and motivations in the world of Zone of the Enders. Zone of the Enders, the second runner, raising the stakes. Zone of the Enders returned to consoles with the second runner, which followed a new protagonist, Dingo Egret, and introduced a darker, more intense storyline. Set 2 years after Leo's story, Dingo finds Jihudi on Callisto, only to be ambushed by the same Martian forces that pursued Leo. Severely injured, Dingo becomes dependent on Jihudi as a life support system and is unwillingly drawn into an escalating war. The second runner honed the fast-paced, aerial combat of its predecessor while addressing earlier critiques by improving enemy variety, weapon customization, and integrating cel-shaded animations that made battles feel like scenes from an anime. It was a hit with fans and critics alike, cementing Zone of the Enders as a beloved series that could stand shoulder to shoulder with Kojima's Metal Gear franchise. Why Zone of the Enders deserves a revival. In an era where mecha games are rare, the potential for Zone of the Enders to return is undeniable. Its core themes of resistance against oppression, the ethics of technological advancements, and the individual's role in vast conflicts remain as relevant today as they were 2 decades ago. Moreover, with the capabilities of modern gaming engines, a new Zone of the Enders title could bring the frenetic, aerial mech combat to life in stunning detail, blending narrative depth with immersive gameplay. The series' last main entry was nearly 20 years ago, and while remaster versions have offered glimpses of its glory, fans have long awaited a true continuation or reimagining that could capture a new generation of players. From its layered storytelling to its distinct anime aesthetics, Zone of the Enders is a Kojima creation deserving of the spotlight once more. Whether through a sequel, remake, or spiritual successor, There's no doubt that the game's legacy and appeal would resonate with both loyal fans and newcomers alike, bringing one of gaming's hidden gems back to the forefront where it belongs.